Good morning, everyone. I'm back. I just got back from a trip that was 400 miles, 6 hours, and wasted $100 in gas to go look at a car, that a C6 Corvette, that was advertised as, quote, driven 86,000 miles. Well, I just assumed that meant that the odometer would read 86,000 miles. Come to find out, that's not the case at all. What they meant was the current owner had driven it 86,000 miles and neglected to mention that the previous owner had driven it 63,000 miles. So the car had 149,000 miles on it. I never would have wasted my time and money going to look at a car with almost 150,000 miles. So that was an absolute bust. It was not a happy camper. I got on their ad and corrected all of their misstatements. The owner claimed it had a really nice interior, almost perfect. I get in it. There is a 3-inch cut in the leather seat from a knife. The stereo was in the dash. Aftermarket stereo head unit was in the dash, but none of it had been hooked up. Those that have dealt with those cars knows that they have their own amplifier system, and getting an aftermarket stereo to work with any of those cars is a royal pain. And then finally, the air conditioner didn't work. And of course, it only needs Freon. But we all know that if it only needed Freon, then they would have just put Freon in it. So again, it just ended up being an absolute waste. All right, so now I've lost time and now I have to make up for it. So let me show you where I am, what I'm doing, and this will be, I think, a short video. Okay, so I have the passenger side of the hood, not completely done, but close enough. I've got an edge here. I've got to fill in that gap a little bit. I'll do that in the next pass. I've got the edges here pretty much matching. So I needed to get now the driver's side to match the passenger side. If you remember, I actually cut a hole in the hood of the C8 before I decided to flatten out these vents. Since I decided to flatten out the vents, I didn't need the hole, so I put a piece of wood across and did exactly like this, put a piece of wood across, lifted it, used a piece of wood to make it level from here to here, got everything the same level, filled it in. When I get to this side, I said, well, now the goal is to get both sides to match. So I put a level on here. I got a tape measure. And if you give me a second. Sorry, this is hard to do with one hand. There we go. And then I measured down all the way across here. And then I compared that to measurements all the way on the other side, and then did it in several spots. What I discovered is that this side is higher by, believe it or not, about the thickness of this piece of fiberglass that is here. There is a ridge here, so now that I've shown you what I did with the level, I can remove it. There we go. And show you that there is a ridge here on the C8. It's hard to see because of the sandy dust, but right here it's high and it drops down, and that happens to be at about the right height. So you can see my white mark. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cutter and cut all of this off, and I will take some body filler and fill in. It raises up actually right here, so I can literally just fill in this, use the C8 surface here, and then use this piece, let it drop down and fill in the gap there. Okay, let me open up the hood so you can see what I'm talking about from the inside. this out of the way. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. Previously, I had cut that section out of the hood. You can see the ridge right here where it raises up. So I completely cut that out to where this flat part right there is there. You can see that there is the surface of the new hood, surface of the original hood, and then, like I said, there's my little wooden pieces that are going to go across. All right, so now that I know I need to do that, the next thing I need to do is, and I kind of messed up here, but I knew that. Remember I said I was going to make a template that goes across here and then ensure that the two sides are the same. Well, I was here and I said, I'll throw some body filler there. This might be a little bit low or might be a little bit high, I'm not sure. Again, I do have to make that template because I want those two to be the same. So I'll do that. If I have to, I can take my cutter, cut straight across there, and then drop this down, or cut across there, raise it up, whatever I need to do. But I do need to make this template right here so that I can ensure that this surface and this surface end up being the same. And right here where the edge is. Luckily, I did not undercut this edge, so I'm not going to have to fill that in like I did on the other side. So again, that template will ensure that both sides end up the same. So that's my minimum goal for today, is to go off and get the two sides the same as close as I can quickly, and then continue on. Then I'll put, I've got to fix this area up here where there's a hole here, there's a hole here. I don't have the material out here, it's inside the house, but I'll show you the fiberglass, the fiberglass reinforced body filler I've been using. This stuff is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to use that to fill in this gap, that way I don't have to do anything else. Otherwise, I would use fiberglass to tie this in and then use body filler on top. But that stuff is so good that I can do it all in one shot. Let's see. I do have this drop here that's going to have to be filled in. And again, I'll have to look at exactly what's going on there. I do have my templates, profile templates. I'll have to dig them out. I actually got one out yesterday and checked on the curve here and the curve here, and the same thing, it matched. This top part matched. Then of course it dropped down a little bit, but then about right here it picked it back up. So once I cut that off, it should be relatively easy to put a thin coat of filler on there and fill that in. Okay, whoops, I kind of shut the hood on the cord there. Just trying not to do that. I've been having this on a battery charger because it does run down the battery, or has run down the battery in the past. All right, that's all I have for today. I'm going to try to get this whole hood area done. If I have time, I'm going to work on that little section right there and get it contoured in. And then I need to fill in this right here and smooth out this edge right here. Okay, that's it for today. Shorter than normal. I've got work to do. It's supposed to get over 100 today, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So I've got to get going before it gets too hot. When it does get hot, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go get yet another shade cover, since this one got destroyed in the last storm. And I've got a big fan I'm going to put up, and that'll make it, give me another couple hours before it just gets unbearably hot out here. All right, hope everyone has a great day. Like, subscribe, hit the alert, and if you want to, go ahead and hit that thanks and give me a little donation. That always helps. And if you don't know what I'm doing, you don't know Jack. Have a great one. Bye.